What's up, Gooners? In this video, I played 100 Days of Punch Club 2, and it was something.
That glass wouldn't stand a chance.
Punch Club 2 is a fighting stat management game where the plot is to fight other people and progress to find out what happened to your dad. Now, the game starts off on the first day with a dystopian food dispenser not working, so I talk to my mom and she tells me to go next door to Henry's house. Henry gives us some money to go to the store and get us both breakfast, so I go to the store just as it's getting robbed by Bobo Jr. We start to fight, but just as I'm getting my ass kicked, the cops come and take us both to the police station. I don't snitch on Bobo and he offers us a job and tells us to come by his slime farm, which sounds kinda gay to be honest, but the cops tell us how the leveling system works in this game. He tells us that everyone has social credit, and that you need 2,000 to become a police officer and 9,000 to get into the upper city, where I can search for my dad. And the main way of getting GPP is by beating other people up in fighting tournaments. They jump at me! They jump at me! So I went back to my house and asked my mom what happened to my dad. She says that he went to get milk and never came back, and that ends the prologue. I never gave Henry his burger earlier, so I go to his house to do that. I give Henry the burger and watch a movie with him. Buying tapes around town and watching them with Henry unlocks new perks. So after unlocking some new perks, I go over to Bobo's slime farm, and he tells me I can punch some slimes for some money, but only during the day. I then went to the gym and talked to the owner Silver, and asked about joining a league. Some guy named Huey calls me gay and says I'll never make it, so I sign up for a fight, and I barely managed to beat this random guy and unlock some GPP, which is used to learn new moves. Silver tells me I can work for the Russian mafia, but I went home to sleep. On day 2, I went to the junkyard and talked to the Russians. I'm only allowed to do this job at night, and it's literally just bending metal. So during the night I work at the junkyard, and during the day I work at the slime farm. After getting some money, I go to the store to buy some food, and Apu hooks us up with a job at the noodle bar downtown. I buy some food and do push-ups for 6 hours straight. I go to make some food, but my mom tells me I'm being too loud and asks me to go to the store and ask about sleeping pills. I go to the store and buy some Xanax, and then drug my mom because she's a bitch throughout this whole game. I'm not going to mention every day that passes because a lot of this game is grinding, spending multiple days in a row at your job, or working out before a fight. So to make this video not 10 hours long, I'm just going to mention the important stuff. I go to my fight and it's the same guy from before, so I lay him out on the ground and then go to the noodle bar and talk to Officer K, which totally isn't a reference to Blade Runner. Oh my God! As a matter of fact, this whole game is just filled with references every other second. This is also probably a good time to explain the combat system in this game. There are 3 different stats: stamina, agility, and strength. Stamina is associated with the slime punching job and measures how much stamina you have before you pass out in a fight, which is probably the most useful stat because if you've run out of stamina in a fight, you're basically screwed. And it also unlocks the stamina fighting style. Next is agility, which is associated to the noodle bar and measures how much times you can attack in a turn and prioritizes dodging and being quick. Next is strength, and is associated with the metal bending job and measures how much health and how much damage you do in an attack, but also increases how much energy you use and makes it easier to lose energy too quick. But at the same time, you can just beat the ever-loving shit out of your opponent. With that being said, I worked and trained before my next fight, and it wasn't enough because I got my ass kicked. After the fight, I got a promotion at a slime punching job, which consists of a guy telling me that he doesn't like me, and he started beating my ass for most of the fight. I then beat him up with 1 HP left and got a raise and unlocked stamina-based fighting style. With my new stamina fighting style, I then kicked the shit out of this guy's shin and won the match. I then got a promotion at the junkyard, which consists of beating up a random guy for some reason and unlocking the strength fighting style. I talked to the holographic cop and he tells me about his partner K at the noodle stand, and that I should go talk to him. So I do that and he just tells me to piss off. Nothing happens for a solid week other than training and winning and losing a few fights that I've previously fought, so it's not that important. But I did learn that you can do narrow training at the gym, which costs money but is a quicker alternative to manually working out. So I hop in the goon pod and level up my strength a bunch, which will come back to haunt me later. I finally beat the guy I was stuck on, and Silver calls me even though I'm standing 2 feet in front of him. He tells me that I should lose my next fight in return for extra money, which is perfect because my favorite thing is to sell out. So I get my ass kicked for $100. Oh, and I got a promotion at the noodle shop and got the agility fighting style, which I never actually use. I used the money to buy another tape from Apu, and watch a movie at Henry's house and unlock more perks. After more training, more working, and more fighting, I'm tasked with finding a movie in the sewers for my next promotion at the junkyard. So I eagerly go into the sewers and find a conspiracy theorist there. He beats my ass and I do the walk of shame back home. I talked to Bobo Jr., and he tells me that I can pay $20 and he can hack my next fight, so if I win I get more GPP, or if I lose I drastically lose more points. This was perfect, with the fact that I've been fighting the same people over and over again trying to unlock new moves. I hack my next fight, and the fight is against Huey, the shit talker from before. I spam spin kick and win the fight. I get another promotion at the slime farm, and the same things before. Go to the sewers, find the conspiracy theorist, and get my ass kicked. So upset with losing, I take my anger out on this fat guy. And after losing the fight, Casey talks to me. He says I can resurrect my dad's old trainer Mick and restore his gym to its former glory, which I say I don't care and don't do for a while. I talk to a scientist with a hot robot about resurrecting Mick. He tells me to get a part at the junkyard, and he also sells software that I can use and boost different things. I go to the junkyard and beat up a robot for the part. He then tells me to go to the bridge to deliver stuff, and of course it ends in a fight, and of course I get my ass handed to me. After being upset that I keep losing fights, I decide to pick on someone smaller than me, and beat up this girl for no reason. I go back to the sewer and get my ass kicked for most of the fight, but a strat I learned is right before the end of the fight where I get my ass kicked, I turn on the strength fighting style and spam uppercut, wasting my energy but dealing a bunch of damage in the process. This actually saved me a bunch of fights, and I'm able to get the slimes and get promoted for more money. Another conspiracy theorist is at the store trying to fight Huey. He talks about the earth being flat, calls me gay, and then beats my ass, so I walk home defeated. I go to the sewers to beat up another flat earther, and go to the bridge to beat up the guard and finally deliver the chip for some extra money. I win my next fight and do a bunch of training to beat up the flat earther. This time, I tell him that the earth is round, call him gay, and beat his ass. After the match, for some reason, Huey wants to fight me, so I beat him up again. I later reboot Mick as a hologram, and he tells me to fix up his old gym. This is where the game branches off into two sections, where you can study law to become a police officer, or fix the gym to later teach people for money. I spent the next week or so fixing the gym, only to realize that I can't use it until the next chapter. After wasting a lot of my time, I go to waste more time listening to the top two fighters at the nightclub, and they just yap about nothing, call me a loser, and waste my time. A lot of training happens, and I go to talk to the guy fixing something at the gym. He tells me that he needs a piece to finish his work, and then he directs me to the junkyard, where they direct me to under the bridge to talk to Spoon Boy. I go under the bridge and can now unlock Steroid. Spoon Boy tells me it's going to be $50 to fix the piece, so I get money and come back. After doing so, I'm able to now respec my points, but more importantly, I can now go back to the guy working and unlock extreme neuro training. He warns me that if I do it too much, I will get brain damage. So what do? I use it multiple times and give myself minor brain rot. I beat the next fighter and now have the top 3 opponents left. Also, going into neuro training and giving myself brain rot will become a recurring thing. After more brain rot, I talk to the guy fixing it, and he tells me I can upgrade it even more for extreme brain rot. After listening to him, I go back into the pod and subject myself to Instagram Reels and give myself level 10 brain rot. I then start tweaking and beat up Silver's Titanfall 2 robot for no reason. I go to the junkyard, and one of the fruity robots starts flirting with me, so I beat him up. Not because he's gay, but because I need the part he has. I give the part to the guy and unlock extreme brain rot. I go under the bridge to talk to the guy from Avatar to cure my brain rot, and he plays a trumpet for me and cures me. I beat up the next opponent and get myself into 3rd place and lock into the stamina tech tree. After more grinding, it's time to fight the number 2 spot, which is literally just a robot, and I beat his ass with no problem. I saved up $400 to buy the next tape for more perks, and just when I go to Henry's house, I find out that he got jumped, and so I do nothing about it, but I'm mad because I just wasted all my money and can't even get my perks. It's now time for the final fight for the number 1 spot against Aesop, and to be honest, it's not really that hard. I just give him some mean ass uppercuts and win the league. I genuinely give him brain damage, and some guy who hosts the next league named Uncle Barry comes to talk to me about fighting in his league. And with that, chapter 1 comes to a close, and so does the first 100 days of this game. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for watching till the end. This video took me forever to make, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean a lot to me if you guys subscribe and let me know in the comments if I should do another 100 days of this game or a different game. Anyways, hope to catch you guys in the next video or stream. But anyways, see ya.